Thank all of you. I'm much happy to welcome you all for this wonderful session. After the means, hope so. Dr. A. Saraswati, Assistant Professor, Department of Electrical and Electronics Engineering, and present HOD of ECE from the University College of Engineering, Viluppuram, will handle the session in a comfort zone to reach some of the content from electrical and electronics applications to store the energy devices and its capacitors. So very happy to introduce Dr. A. Saraswati. She is an assistant professor from University College of Engineering, Viluppuram in the Department of Electrical and Electronics Engineering from 2009. She completed her PhD from Anna University in the area of power electronics application to power system operation and control. Her areas of specializations are power quality, power electronics application to power systems, renewable energy systems, electrical vehicles, artificial intelligence, and soft computing. Madam has also a membership in professional organization in Indian Society for Technical Education, IEEE, and IEEE Women in Engineering. She has presented various papers in national and international conferences and wide range of publications in refereed journals too. She has been patiently giving service as a reviewer to various reputed journals like Wiley, Springer, Walter T. Creator, etc. Madam has also delivered special lectures in the area of electric devices and drives, power electronics, control systems, and energy technologies. She has conducted many international and national level conferences and technical seminars successfully. Under his organization, Madam has conducted 1 week faculty development program in UCEV sponsored by CTDT, Anna University, Chennai. She has also successfully organized Atal-sponsored FDP on research challenges in design and control of electrical vehicles in the year 2020. She is the energy champion of UCEV. In collaboration with the AICTE, she is doing many quiz programs for students to create awareness about renewable energy among students. Madam is also doing service to schools at Viluppuram in collaboration with Unnat Bharat Abhiyan since 2019. She is also the coordinator of Tamil Mandram and Kanithamil Peravai in University College of Engineering, Viluppuram under Center for Development of Tamil in Engineering and Technology, Anna University, Chennai. She is also doing many activities for the students and faculty members in this area. Recently, her article, Minsara Vaganam Kalathin Avasiyam, or Kuriya Parvai, was published in Kalanjiyam magazine of Center for Development of Tamil in Engineering and Technology, Anna University, Chennai. As a merit of appreciation, she has received 100% result, and for her service, she also received Best Teacher Award in the year 2008 and 2019. She is an active member of many committees, panels, and boards, etc. in UCV. Very happy to invite you, ma'am, in this forum.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you for your nice intro.
Thank you, ma'am. May I request you to kindly deliver your session?
Very good afternoon to all and all present here.
Good afternoon, ma'am.
Respected program coordinator, Dr. K. Kadimuri, and organizing committee members of this Atal FTP. First of all, I wish to congratulate for her right choosing of the heading at right time, that is strategies and outcomes to enhance sustainable green environment, because it is the globally need of the hour in order to meet out the rapid rate of fossil fuels as well as overcome the greenhouse emission. It is the need of the hour. So once again, I congratulate the team and all the participants. And my topic is sustainable energy technology and its role in environment. This is my plan of presentation. It begins with introduction. Why renewable energy and why not conventional energy? Followed by renewable energy versus fossil fuel, some important facts and information regarding that. The sources of renewable energy. Among the multi sources of renewable energy, the hydropower is the oldest and high efficient system. And solar power generation is the upcoming system, right? So I choose this two, hydropower plant as well
Dear
as.
ma'am,
So my topic is sustainable energy technologies and its role in environment. This is my plan of presentation. Begins with introduction. Why renewable energy? Why not conventional energy? And renewable energy versus fossil fuels, I give some important information regarding that. Then list of sources of renewable energy. Among that, hydropower plant is the oldest form of renewable energy, and solar power generation is the developing one, upcoming one. So I choose these two areas for our today discussion. In the case of hydropower plant, a small brief explanations about the working principle and followed by the role of HPP in sustaining green environment and its impact in green environment. Similarly, working principle of solar power generation and its role and impacts in green environment. Finally, we concluded with some useful conclusions which is useful for our research also. International scenario of sustainable energy technology. The first commercial scale renewable sources of energy generation is hydropower plant. Being an afternoon session, I placed more pictures for you to fetch more attentions from your side. So this is the first hydropower plant located in USA. The Grand Rapids Electric Light and Power Company used a water turbine to generate enough electricity to power 16 lines. Soon after, in 1882, the world's first hydroelectric power plant began operations on the Fox River in Appleton. Similarly, in 1887, the first electricity generating wind turbine is built in Scotland by Professor James Wyleth of Anderson's College. At present, in 2021, the renewable electricity generation is set to expand by more than 8% to reach 8,300 terawatt hour. The renewable energy has a vast history. It begins from 18th century and reach a commercial value at 19th century, but 2021 is the fastest year. And another important point is among all the renewable energy sources, solar power generation and wind power generation are set to contribute 2 to 3rd of the total renewable growth. Consider this chart. It's give the international scenario about the renewable energy. In this current year, China alone, almost half of the global increase is from China. That is, the green color is for wind energy. So half of the renewable energy total capacity is from wind alone. So first in the world, China have a first place in the case of renewable energy generation. Next followed by United States, then European Union. Our India in the 4th place. In the 4 cases, in China, USA, and European Union and India, the wind energy generation is greater than the remaining things. As next important energy generation is solar power. This chart gives a clear idea about the current and previous year growth of the renewable electricity generations. For example, in the case of solar power, the previous year, the 2020 and the current year 2021, there is almost they are equal. But in the case of wind, there is an enormous increase in a single year. Around 35 to 40% of the wind capacity of the total world capacity is happened in a single year. So that's much fast growing is happening in worldwide now. Then some Indian scenario of sustainable energy technology for our refreshments. India has a lot of perspectives, important things related to sustainable energy in the world market. It was the first country to set up a ministry for non-conventional energy resources named Ministry of New and Renewable Energy in early 1980. It has initiated the International Solar Alliance. Now, all over the world, 121 countries are participated in that. In the world, as per RECAI, Renewable Energy Country Attractiveness Index, India in third position after USA and China. In India, world largest solar park in Rajasthan with a capacity of 2,255 megawatt in Patla village. The second largest solar park also in India, in Andhra Pradesh with a capacity of 100 megawatt. So out of the world, there are five largest solar power pack, power park, three in India. It is really a surprise for us. Then energy consumption of India 2019 and 2020. See this slide. It is very interesting one. Almost 50% of the total power generation capacity is from coal. That is 48% is from coal. The next higher rating is 26%. That is from petroleum power plants. So collectively, 80% of the total power capacity of India is developed from conventional methods alone. So it is a huge pollution, stands for huge pollutions. So it is the right time, we must take a right decision and we have to develop the sustainable energy technology to preserve the Mother Earth, because man-made climate changes are occurred due to greenhouse effect. Only 14% of the renewable energy sources are balanced the requirement of India per annum. So this, but at current year, that is 2021, this 14% is boomed to a higher level. It is highly appreciated. That is 35.9% from renewable energy. In the current year, as per 2021 February marks, this is happening. So outside this 35.9% of renewable energy, 12.2% is from large hydropower plants. So renewable energy sources, the hydropower plant is the highest renewable energy sources among all other renewable energy sources. The next one is wind power, the next one is solar power. Comparatively, they are very close, that is 10.1 and 9.6. They are constantly increasing. The development in this area are constantly increasing and give a sustainable improvement also. The next, biopower 2.7%, small hydro 1.3, like that. Okay. This graph tells you how the power generation is improved for the 2 centuries. In the 19th century, 20th and 21st century, the hydropower is constantly increased. At 20th century, there is a rapid rise and sustained the increase. Next to hydro, wind and solar after 20th century gave a constant rise. So with this brief introductions, now we move to our core topic. What is sustainable energy? A new set of energy technology which can meet out the power need of present generation without compromising the need of future generations. Because the Mother Earth is for all, not only for us. It's not for greedy, it's for only needy people. Okay, so this is the sustainable energy importance without compromising the need of future generations. Then what is sustainable energy technology? It includes renewable energy sources and technologies designed to improve energy efficiency. Then classification of sources of energy. I place these few slides, it's very basic, but it's needed because we have to understand why the need of renewable energy is this time, this year or this time. How it is important to understand that this basic slides are essential. So I place this. Sources of energy broadly classified into conventional and non-conventional. You know, conventional means it's used in since a long time. So it may be further classified into commercial and non-commercial. In commercial, coal and petroleum plays a main role. In non-commercial, firewood and everything. Non-conventional or renewable energy sources are solar energy, wind energy, tidal energy, bio, and energy from urban waste. Types of conventional fuels. Fossil fuels are fuels produced by natural resources like dead plant and dead animals, and its anaerobic decompositions is a result to coal, natural gas, petroleum, and petroleum gas. In both the case, we require dead animals or dead plants. If the plants goes for the anaerobic decomposition after a millions of years, it's become a coal. If the dead animals undergoes the same process, it reaches to a petroleum product. These things we already know. Okay. Fossil fuel formations. It's a very important slide because the time increases, temperature and pressure increased. If time increases, temperature and pressure increased. Similarly, if the pressure and time increases, you can get good quality coal. For example, black coal is the good quality coal. Even in black coal, there are 3 layers. First one is the subbituminous, bituminous, anthracite. In this, the anthracite is the best quality. The anthracite is the best quality of black coal. Okay, so before that we can get brown coal and wheat swan. So what can we understand from this slide? We require millions of years to replace the used coal for further usage. So we have to wait for a longer time than the human lifespan. Why renewable? Why not conventional energy? So renewable energy, there is no greenhouse emissions in associate with renewable energy generations. Then it reducing the dependence of fossil fuel, because the fossil fuels depletion rate is very rapidly increased. So after 20 to 30 years, there is a surplus decrease in the fossil fuels availability. So we have to manage that. At the same time, we have to save our earth from the greenhouse emission. For that purpose, we are required renewable energy for the energy alterations methods. Also, the renewable energy going faster than fossil fuel, and its cost is very less comparatively to the fossil fuels, because the sunlight and water, everything are available in nature with free of cost, and it is very cleaner than the fossil fuels. And one more thing, suppose if any irresponsible use of fossil fuels will be very dangerous, but that is not in the case of a renewable energy. And one more important slide to understand why not conventional energy. To support why not conventional energy, I place this slide. It is a schematic diagram of a thermal power plant. The coal supply is here, is conveyed to a pulverizer mill, where the coal is have a mix and sent to the furnace of the boil. In the furnace, the coals are burned and huge heat is produced. This heat is used to boil the water in the boiler. So high temperature and high pressure, high quality steam is developed in the top of the boiler. The steam is fed into a steam turbine. So steam turbine convert the steam energy into mechanical energy as a rotation. The turbine is connected to a generator with the same shaft. So once the turbine rotates, the mechanical energy is connected to the generator. The generator output is connected to the substation. That is, generator convert this mechanical energy into electricity. This electricity is given to the substations in the site also. That step-up transformers are there. They step up this generated electricity and transmit to the power utility. After the useful work, the steams are collected here, that is known as condenser. And once again, after the water treatment, this water is ready for the further process. This system is going on. And the waste collects as a have collected it. So this is the basic working principle of a thermal power plant. The important thing is this. So for 1,000 megawatt power station, we have to pay 5,000 crores. For this huge infrastructure, we have to pay 5,000 crores. At the same time, the raw material for run power stations, listen here, 12,000 ton of coal per day we are required. A single day, we are requiring 12,000 tons of coal. Then furnace oil, 101 meter cubic per day. Then water for treatment and for boiling and processing the remaining instruments, everything we require huge amount of water, that is 98,000 meter cubic per day. And run this entire plant, we require electricity, that is 80 megawatt. So 1,000 megawatt, we are trapped 80 megawatt as a feedback, and that is used to the functioning of the plant instruments. So what can we understand from this slide? We are required huge raw materials for run the power station. At the same time, we have to spend a lot of money, and at the same time, the byproduct, see the byproduct, 30,000 tons of CO2 every day is mixed to the atmosphere, and 680 tons per day SO2 and NO2 mixed in the atmosphere. So there is air pollution, huge amount of air pollution is there. And one more thing, 4,200 tons of ash per every day, it's collected from the thermal power stations. It has to be treated, otherwise it's pollute the earth and river and etc. So the entire world populations required electricity. India is the third country among the world of producing as well as using electricity. But at the same time, we are producing a lot of pollutions to the earth. So this has to be avoided, or this has to be shifted to the new sustainable energy technology. So this area, the scientists or the academicians, we have to work together or integrately and find a new solutions to the renewable energy or sustainable energy technology. Why still conventional energy? So far we have discussed about what are the greenhouse produced by the thermal power stations and how it is polluted the environment. Yes, everything is yes, but still we are using the conventional energy because it is very easy to store and transport, and it is relatively cheap. This point is must be highlighted. Actually, the coal is have a market fluctuations every day. It's very costly. Petroleum is costly, but we tell that conventional energy generation is relatively cheap. The sunlight or the solar energy or water energy, whatever it is, they are available plenty without cost. There is at no cost. But the system says that conventional energy generation is relatively cheap than the sustainable energy technology, because this is not because of the raw materials. This is because of the technologies we are used. For example, conventional energy generations technologies almost 100 years of lifetime, 100 years of development years. So the technologies are full-fledgedly improved. So the overall cost for generation of electricity by using the conventional energies comes cheap. But in the case of renewable energy or sustainable energy, even though the raw materials are freely available, we cannot afford to electricity in the cheaper price, or because of the lacking in the technical side. So this session, I wish to spotlight some important place where we have to concentrate to improve our sustainable technology development. I believe this is very much useful to you. Next, conventional energy is more reliable. Okay. Renewable energy versus fossil fuels. It gives some in-depth understanding about the difference between renewable energy and sustainable energy. This is the name you are usually misplaced use that renewable energy and sustainable energy. That is the difference. So to understand that, we must understand renewable energy versus fossil fuels first. Okay. So first, renewable energy comes from natural resources. Okay, fine. Fossil fuels also comes from natural resources. Okay. But renewable energy is replenished during an average human lifetime. But fossil fuels need millions of years. So that is the difference between these two categories. So even though they are comes from same natural resources, but we can't say they are equal. And one more interesting thing. Natural gas is often labeled as clean power because it burns cleaner than coal. People may believe that natural gas is a sustainable resource. It's never. It is a conventional one. Similarly, in the case of a biomass, the burning wood, the most common method of biomass energy generation, sometimes emits more CO2 than burning coal. That said, wood is classified as a renewable source by a lot of scientists because trees can be replenished. So with that, we can't decide that. We must understand that whether it is best for our environment and humanity. So that is the objective of this topic. All energy sources has its pros and cons, and it's our job to find out both best for environment and humanity. So sources of renewable energy, we may know solar energy, wind energy, hydro energy, thermal, geothermal energy, biofuel and biogas energy. Then another important parameters we have to consider is efficiency. For hydro power plant, that is hydro turbines, the conventional efficiency, that is energy from water, is converted into electricity energy. Okay, so the conversion efficiency is 85 to 90%. In the case of wind turbine, it is 30 to 45%. Imagine how far between these two. Then solar thermal system, it comes approximately 20%. Geothermal, the energy efficiency is 35%. Then nuclear power plant, it is only 0.27%. Why this happen? Actually, enormous of energy is generated at nuclear fission, but only 0.7% of the energy is used to convert it to heat, that is the steam, and from that the electricity is generated. The remaining thing is going to be waste. So this is the area we have to take in for our research. If you use more amount of energy, then the overall efficiency of this system also improved. But this topic is apart from our today's discussion, so I left this. Diesel engine, 35 to 42%. So this energy efficiency pyramid gives a more clear idea about different power generation methods. The base one, the fundamental one, the oldest method or the highest efficient method is hydro power plant, 85 to 92. Wind turbine, 30 to 45. Diesel power plant, 35 to 42. Thermal power plant, 30 to 45. Geothermal, 35. Solar, 20. And nuclear, 2.27. So there are different kinds of energy generations are available. So among that, we pick thermal power plant and solar, which comes under renewable energy. So this is also a very important slide. You can understand the energy conversions, how it is happening from various different types of energy conversion methods. For example, if I convert the energy from nuclear to electricity, this is the path. The nuclear energy is converted into thermal energy, then mechanical energy, then finally electrical energy. So this is the path for a nuclear energy to electrical energy. Similarly, for wind energy, wind to mechanical energy to electrical energy. And hydro power plant, that is gravitational or hydro-tidal energy of water, is converted into mechanical energy. From the mechanical energy, it is converted into electrical energy. Then chemical energy to thermal possible, thermal to mechanical, mechanical to electrical. And the beauty of the thing is there are only two ways are there. Only from solar to directly you can convert it into a DC electricity. It is possible by using a photovoltaics effect. From solar to direct DC. Then chemical to direct electricity and vice versa. Also possible. Okay. So if you understand these slides, you can fix your area where we have to work. Then what is solar energy? Solar energy is a radiant light and heat from the sun that is harnessed using a range of ever-evolving technologies as given below, that is solar heating, solar thermal energy, solar architecture, molten salt plant, artificial photosynthesis, etc. Then why solar power? Solar power is a great sustainable green energy choice. Using solar panels on their home, one can reduce their energy cost. Not only the cost, they become less reliant on the power grid. They can get a freedom, power freedom. They are not depends on the power grid. There is no fluctuations and all. So once you enjoy the power freedom, then you cannot depend on your grid supply. Okay. Then solar energy doesn't only help reduce your electricity bills, it also huge benefits for our planet because there is no greenhouse effect. The working principle of a solar cell is mainly based on photovoltaic effect. In 1905, Albert Einstein declared this effect and won Nobel Prize for that also. What is photovoltaic effect? So due to electromagnetic radiations from the sunlight, at the junction of two different materials, a potential difference is generated. So electromagnetic radiations or light from sun consists of photons, packets of energy that is known as photons. This is the commercial solar cell. It consists of this much of multi-layers. Actually this blue color, this is the solar cell. And above and below there is an encapsulant, over that there is a glass and frame, before there is a back sheet. So this is the better view for understanding. So solar cell consists of a p-n junctions. It's an n-type silicon base and p-type layer. So when the solar rays falls on a p-n junction, there is a creation of electron hole pair happens in the junction. And electrons collected in one layer and holes collected in another layer. And if you connect it externally like this by using any load like a bulb or whatever it is, there is a flow of current. So you can convert the photon or the light energy to DC electricity by using photovoltaic effect. This picture gives more clear view. That is, this is the N-type silicon, this is P-type silicon, and this middle line is the solar panel, junction. This middle line is the junction, p-n junction. So once light rays from sun is fall on the layer, definitely this photons passes into the p-n junction, and there is the creation of hole and electron pairs, and they are responsible for the flow of current. So this is the solar cell working principle. So the energy released due to photovoltaic effect is mainly depends on the frequency of light. It's very much important. E equal to H into V. That is, E is proportional to frequency of light. So what will happen once the photons enter to the p-n junction? There is a creation of electrons and holes. They are accumulated in two different levels. See this diagram. Okay. So electron and holes are created here. The electrons move in this direction, holes move in this direction. Suppose if there is a chance when the electron and holes are recombined and can maybe vanish. That is also possible. Can be explained here. So if one want to use the energy stored in the electron hole pair for performing work in an external circuit, semi-permeable membranes must be present on both sides of the absorber. So absorber is the P-type material. Over that there is a permeable membrane such that electrons only can flow out of, through one membrane and holes only can flow out through the other membrane. In most solar cells, these membranes are formed by N-type and P-type materials. So P-type membrane is over the P-type layer, N-type membrane is over the N-type layer. The electrons and holes can reach the membranes before they recombine. Otherwise, it may be vanished. So, time it requires the charge carriers to reach the membrane must be shorter than their lifetime. So, this is the requirement limit for the which decides the thickness of the absorber. So, we cannot increase the thickness for greater than the lifetime. This is the characteristics of solar cell. From that, the short circuit current and open circuit voltage. This is the current and voltage characteristics. By product these two, we can find out what is the power, how the power or how long the power can be derived from a solar cell, that is shown by this blue color. Then application side, we can use a solar cell as a thermal power system, thermal system, which is used to convert the sun's energy to a heat energy. So basically, it is a absorber. It's a metal plate, either it is copper or aluminum, over which we are spray some coating. So what will happen? The solar energy is heat up the metal. So water from the water tank is fed to the roof, and below the panel there are number of tubes or like that. So the water is flowing over the panel or below the panel, so it get heated. So in this way, the sun energy is converted into heat energy. Okay, so it can be clearly understood by this diagram. So inlet. Okay, so this is the absorber plate. This is the absorber plate over which we are placing the tubes. So water is flow through the water tubes and finally enter to the outlet connection. So what will happen? The absorber absorb the heat from the sunlight and make it heat. So this is known as flat plate solar collectors. Okay. So sunlight passes through the glassing and strikes the absorber plate, which heats up, changing solar energy into heat energy. The heat is transferred to liquid passing through the pipes attached to the absorber plate. Okay. Selective coatings are used. That coatings is, for example, semiconductor, metal tantalum, copper, and picric acid. Already I told you, the absorber plates are either copper or aluminum. Okay. I have some applications of solar thermal. Focusing collector. Okay. A focusing collector is a special form of flat plate collector. It is modified by introducing a reflecting surface between the solar radiation and the absorber. So it increases the efficiency of the energy conversions. In these collectors, radiations falling on a relatively large area is focused onto a receiver or observer of considerably smaller area. So there is a concentration factor is also we are going to be calculated under another few slides. Okay. So see this is the focusing collectors picture. Okay. So we are placing this parabolic reflector and receiver tube. Okay. So sunlight is falls on this. So it's improve the energy conversions. Reflectors is supposed to be increase our efficiency. And focusing collectors. So the focusing collector is a device to collect solar energy with high intensity of solar radiations on the energy absorbing surface. A focusing collector is a special form of flat collector modified by introducing a reflecting surface. So what is the use? By using the reflecting surface, we can improve the radiations, that is the conversion efficiency from 1.5 to 2. So it reaches the rated temperature, that is 450 to 500 degrees C. And solar concentrators and receiver geometries. Concentrator is a component used to increase the intensity of energy flux on a receiver. There is a wide variety of means for increasing the flux of radiations on the receivers. It can be classified on the basis of by use of the lens or the type of mounting or orientation or by the concentrations or by the material used. Concentrations range.
Ma'am, your mic is mute.
Madam, madam, you have muted your audio, ma'am. Dear ma'am, kindly unmute your audio. Dear ma'am. Dear participants, I request kindly to mute your audio, please. Thank you for your cooperation. Dear ma'am, Madam Saraswati.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. It is audible. Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. It is audible now.
Okay, please wait.
வேற யாரோ ஆன் பண்ணுவாங்க இங்கே கட்டாச்சு.
We move to the soul of the very important area of the presentations. Role of solar power in sustaining green environment. First thing, using less water. For example, for a thermal power plant, I saw the detail, it is required around 10,000 meter cubic water per day. But for a solar power plant, there is no need of water. Traditional electricity productions can be use thousands of liters of water each year. Water is used for cooling generators, processing and refining fuel and transporting fuel through pipes. But that things are not happen in the case of solar power. And once again, generating power through solar panels use no water whatsoever. The operation of solar photovoltaic cells doesn't require water at all. Only the natural rain is enough for the cleaning the solar panels. That is enough. So using less water or nil water is the process of the solar power generations. So this is the first thing we require. Then reducing air pollutions. The air we breathe can help or hinder our health and well-being. Breathing poor quality air on a daily basis can have dire consequences for our health. Air pollution has been linked to asthma and allergies, etc. So using the sun to generate more and more of our power means less and less harmful emissions from burning fossil fuels, because in general, in conventional energy generations, CO2, NO2, SO2 are produced as a byproduct, but that is not happening in the solar power. So air is pure. The air is, there is no air pollution due to solar power generation. Another third important thing is it helps to our climate change. Actually, we are created the climate changes, that is man-made climate changes are happening nowadays because of this greenhouse effect. We must understand what is greenhouse effect. The release of toxic gases into the atmosphere, such as carbon dioxide, methane, and nitrous oxide, contributes to the enhanced greenhouse effect. So, what is greenhouse effect? This CO2 and other gases form a layer over the earth in the atmosphere like this. So what will happen when sunlight from the sun, a portion of the energy is reflected and the remaining will sustaining over the surface of the or near the surface of the earth due to this greenhouse effect. So what will happen? The earth is keeping the earth warm. So the temperature of the earth is keeping on increase. So this have to be avoided. So this is the main reason for the man-made climate changes. So the world alarm about this thing, greenhouse effect, by using a renewable source. Sorry, sir. Hello? Hello, ma'am?
Yes, ma'am.
Cooking, ma'am?
Illa, ma'am.
Okay, ma'am.
No, ma'am. So, dear participants, kindly mute your audio, please. Yes, ma'am, you can proceed, ma'am. Sorry, ma'am.
Consequences of greenhouse effect. As the burning of fossil fuels have increased, the amount of greenhouse gases in our atmosphere is increased. We must understand these things. So simply we avoid fossil fuels means automatically we improve the air. This has leads to the enhanced greenhouse effect, which is warming our earth faster than ever before. In recent years, this has been linked to a number of catastrophic weather events such as flooding, cyclones, storms, etc. And another interesting thing is generating electricity from solar panels produce no greenhouse gases. Okay, so with solar energy powering a home or business, there is no burning of fuel and no emissions from the energy production. The fourth important thing is reducing your household's carbon footprint. Solar energy is one of the cleanest sources of energy and it is extremely effective way of your household for more efficient and sustainable energy. Solar panels don't use any water to generate electricity. Already we have seen this. Okay, so they don't release harmful gases into the environment. And the sources of their energy is abundant and best of all and almost free. So using solar energy instead of the grid also means you reduce the need for carbon dioxide emitting energy to be produced for the grid on your behalf. With even a small system installed on your home, you can help reduce your household's carbon footprint. Reducing our reliance on fossil fuels. The fifth important role of solar power in sustaining green environment is reducing our reliance on fossil fuels. Solar energy supplies are massive. If we could harness all of the sunlight shining on the earth for just 1 hour, we could use that energy to power the entire world for the whole year. It is really astonishing. A single day of sun energy can be converted to the world requirement for a whole year. That much of energy is available, surplusly available. Only we require the development in the technology side. Reducing our reliance on fossil fuels, taking advantage of an abundant free source of energy such as sunlight would mean lower energy prices, reduced greenhouse gas emissions, and a stronger and more stable energy future. So far, we are discussing, we complete our solar energy power generations and its role in sustaining the climate also. Now we move to the hydropower plant scenario. So Indian scenario of hydropower. India is the 7th largest hydropower making country in the world. We can proudly say that 7th largest hydropower making country. And and it has 45,400 megawatt installed capacity all over India. And the interesting things, Koina hydroelectric project is the India's largest completed hydroelectric power plant with a capacity of 1,160 megawatt. And forthcoming 12,000 megawatt half-stalled capacities are promoted. It's coming on. What is Hydel power plant? A hydroelectric generation station is a plant that can produce electricity by using water to propel the turbine, which in turn drive a generator. These power stations generate about a quarter of all the electricity requirement in the world. So 1/4 of the world requirement of electricity is mainly met out by the hydel power plant. So it is very oldest system and very clean system and give a high efficiency also. The world is most probably in the olden days fully depend on hydel power. Now it is then it is moved to a thermal power. Then there is a lot of technology development. So there are a lot of conventional energy sources are available. Now we once again move to the renewable energy, but still hydro power plant is have its own growth from the origin to this end. So types of hydro power plants, three main types: impoundment hydro power plant, diversion power plant, or pumped storage hydro power plant. Actually, impoundment hydro power plant is a larger hydro power plant systems. They need a dam to store huge amount of water for a purpose of converting water energy into electricity. We require a huge dam with reservoir. Okay, so the pile of water exciting from the reservoir is channeled via a turbine, causing it to rotate. The rotating or the mechanical energy is then converted into electricity by using a generator. Okay, so this is the largest power plant in our India, Koina Impoundment hydro power plant. Then pumped storage hydro power plant. The Tehri Dam is the tallest dam in India. It is on the Bhagirathi River near Tehri in Uttarakhand, India. I have an opportunity to visit here and see the site also. So the installed capacity is 1,000 megawatt. The total capacity, the total length is 4.4 kilometer. Pumped storage hydro power plant. It is another type of hydro power plant. The water reservoir at different elevations levels are required. Sometimes it is naturally happened or man-made. Two different reservoirs at different altitude is there. So in that case, we can use it. Then the third category is diversion hydro power plant. It's do not generally, there is no need of a huge dam. Instead of the water is diverted into an artificial water course or channel, which may be used for irrigations or any other purpose after the hydroelectric generator flow into a different river or to be itself a dam forming on a ground. But each method has its pros and cons that we are going to see. So impoundment hydel power, there is a reservoir and there is a dam. Okay. So this is the block diagram of impoundment hydel power station. This is the transmission line. This is the dam. Actually, this is penstock. So the penstock decide the or convert the potential and kinetic energy of the water into the turbine. The turbine is connected to a generator. The generator is connected to a substation. So the water will flow to the turbine. The turbine is rotated. So automatically generated is rotated. So this mechanical energy is converted into electrical energy. The water energy is converted to mechanical energy by the turbine blades. Okay. So instead of this picture, we can give a more understanding about how it is connected. So there is a penstock, surge tank, turbine, generator, then water flows, the turbine rotate, shaft rotate, generator will rotate. So what will happen? This mechanical energy is fed into the generator. From the generator, electricity is collected. Fine. Divers and hydel power plant. So it's need a diversions. Two different altitude there is a diversions. It is intake, it is outtake. Pump storage hydel power plant. Here also the reservoirs are in two different heights, that is pump storage. So suppose if the water from the upper reservoir is flows to the lower reservoir, so automatically the water gain high energy from always water flows from higher potential to lower potential. So it's gain more energy, so the more water energies may be converted into a electrical energy by using a water turbine and generator setup. So in this type of pumped storage hydel power plants are very much useful in the case of load balancing in the general power system. So in general power systems, we are requiring some load balancing. At that time, we are depend on this pumped storage hydel power plant. The important points of hydropower plant: reservoir and dam, inlet gates, forebay, penstock, turbine and generator. Dam, you know, it's a huge water storage place. The dam is built on a large river that has abundant quantity of water throughout the year. Water reservoir. The water reservoir is the place behind the dam where water is stored. The water in the reservoir is located higher than the rest of the dam structure. So this is the reservoir. The inlet gates. Then forebay. Forebay is an artificial pool of water in front of larger body of water. Actually, its use is to control the flood, act as a storm surges. Act as a storm surge. So this is actually reservoir. This is the created by artificial created pool, that is forebay. Forebay. Okay. Then penstock. Penstock. From dam to turbine, there is a it's decide the distance, slope, everything this matter here. Water turbines. Water flowing from the penstock is allowed to enter the power generation unit, which houses the turbine and the generator. When water falls on these plates of the turbine, the kinetic and potential energy of water is converted into rotational, and the plates are moved or rotated. That is, the water energy is converted into a mechanical rotation. And that turbine is connected to this generator. The turbine is connected to this generator. So automatically the mechanical energy is fed into the generator as an input. So generator produces the electricity, required electricity. Now we comes to the important slide, that is role of hydropower plant in sustaining green environment. Hydroelectricity, no doubt, it is the oldest form of renewable energy source. Okay, fine. Then hydroelectricity uses the energy of running water without reducing its quantity. After power conversions, you can use the water for irrigations and everything. So this is the best thing. So there is no much water waste as compared to the thermal power stations. So hydroelectricity makes it possible to utilize other renewable sources. You can combine a hydroelectricity system you can combine solar power also, solar power generation also. You can combine these two things for any load fluctuations and all. We can combine, that is possible. Its flexibility make them more economical in supporting the use of intermittent sources of renewable energy. Then hydroelectricity promotes guaranteed energy and price stability. It helps fight climate changes. There is no huge NO2 or SO2 emission, so there is no climate changes due to HPP, that is hydropower plant. It produces very small amount of greenhouse gases, very small amount comparatively. When we compare this to a thermal power stations, it's produced almost very minimum greenhouse gases. So it helps fight against man-made climate changes. It improves the air we breathe. It don't release pollutants to the air. Still, it has some impacts. So far, we are discussing the hydropower plant have many roles in maintaining the climate or environment, even though it has some impacts also. So, hydropower facilities can affect land use, homes, and natural habitats in the dam area. Because we required, the dam is very huge dam, we require huge area of the land is covered by the dam, and it's definitely affect the lives in that area. For example, reservoirs may cover people's homes, important areas, agriculture land, and archaeological sites, etc. The reservoir construction also drying up because of slow constructions. We required many years to construct a hydropower plant project. Building a dam and reservoir to support hydroelectric power takes a lot of money. Comparatively, it is very larger than the thermal power stations. Okay. And so, thermal power station is the costlier one, but hydropower plant is most costlier than most costly. Then impacts of hydropower plants is continued. The system depends on precipitation levels, which can fluctuate from year to year, causing instability. In some places, hydroelectricity can disrupt wildlife habitat, and hydroelectric power plant can cause a loss or modification of fish habitat and lead to the entrapment of fish and restrictions of their lives. In some cases, hydroelectricity can cause changes in reservoir and steam water quality. Operating a hydroelectric power plant may alter the water temperature and reverse flow. That is some latest technology, run off the river policy, run off the river hydropower plant. It is the latest technology in that area, but it affects the native plants and animals in that area. Conclusions. The UN report warns that dire impacts from climate change will arrive sooner than never. IPCC, that is Intergovernmental Panel on Climate Change, sounds an urgent warning, that is, we must cut emissions immediately to avoid the catastrophic effects of changing climate. Every tons of emissions reductions can make a difference. For example, if it is possible to reduce 1 tons of CO2 mixing into the atmosphere, that is well and good. By using a small solar power panel or by using a small hydropower plant system also nowadays are promoted. It is always greater than the huge power plant systems. A small hydropower plant systems also supported to the environment by replacing this. The interdisciplinary nature of functioning of renewable energy generation schemes will lead to clean and green environment without man-made climate changes. Energy modeling, policy making, and real research are required in these areas. One more thing I want to tell at this point. Suppose we are ready to collaborate with our fellow friends in different discipline, we may answer so many problems in the sustaining energy technology. For example, the plates used in the turbines have to sustain high pressure, high temperature. So at that time, we need a tie-up between electrical person and a chemistry person. To understand that, we can develop a new metal or new structure. A small change that will fetch a good research publication or a good patents too. Similarly, in the solar panel, there are lot of inconvenience while we are using the solar panel is regarding the positioning or orientations or suppose if you are communication engineer and a chemical engineer is tie up and find that solutions for that orientation problem and increase the photovoltaic effect, then it is a very good research. So in this way, interdisciplinary working is required at this heart. So with this, I end with my presentations. I'm looking for your questions. Madam?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, I'm here. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you for this wonderful session. Let me move to the questionnaire session. Any questions from the participants?
Good afternoon, madam.
Good afternoon, sir.
I'm Rajasekhar from University College of Engineering.
Tell me, sir.
A nice presentation, good sequence of order in the non-conventional energy sources.
Happy to welcome you, sir, on this forum.
I need some clarification in the presentation, and I have some couple of questions.
Yeah, welcome, sir.
And the slide number 22, you are given that conventional energy can be easily transported, right?
Yeah.
But the energy fuel can be that is easily stored and transported. But the fuel can be stored, energy cannot be, you know that the energy cannot be stored for large quantities. Only this in the form of.
Please wait, sir, please wait. Energy can be transmitted from one place to another. As an electrical engineer, I can say that. I can transmit my energy at one station to another energy. It is possible in the case of thermal power station, but not in the case
Sir,
of
excuse me.
solar
Sir,
power
excuse me.
panels. That's why I'm putting that.
It's the easy storage, you are given as an easy storage. One can be able to store it in the form of various.
Sir, excuse me, it is not audible. There is some vibrations in your questions, and the clear voice is not coming, sir. Dr. Ashish, sir.
Madam, is it audible?
No, sir, it is not clear. It is wavering. Voice is not clear, sir. It is wavering.
Hello? Any
Yes,
more
ma'am.
questions, sir?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Kindly wait for some time.
Yes, I'm waiting, ma'am. I'm looking forward.
Yes, ma'am. Sir, Dr. Ashish, sir, you kindly post your question in the chat box.
Yes, ma'am. Is it audible, madam?
Now it is audible. Kindly post your question in the chat box, sir.
I need one clarification, madam.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Sorry.
Yes,
What is the
sir.
current scenario regarding the electricity in India? What is the vision?
Pardon? Not clear. Question, please, sir.
The audio is not clear, sir. Kindly post it in the chat box. I'll encourage the ma'am. Kindly post in the chat box, sir.
What is the current scenario, madam, in India regarding the power generation?
What is the current
Scenario.
scenario?
Madam, given that the nuclear power plant has the efficiency of 0.7%.
Sorry to say, I am not
Ah.
audible in your voice. It's not
Please, sir,
clearly
kindly
audible to
post
me.
it in the.
I'm requesting to answer you, sir, but your question is not clear to me. What can I do?
Sir, madam. Madam, here, Saras ma'am.
Tell me, ma'am.
There is one more question from the participant NS Madhuri. Out
Yes,
of
ma'am.
solar power plant or hydro power plant, which one is more sustainable?
Which is more sustainable?
Sustainable, whether it is a solar power plant or hydro power plant.
Ma'am, without no doubt, solar power plant is more than the hydro power plant.
Yes, okay.
In the regarding of sustainable, because it's required less area, less habitats. There is no much disturbance as like in the hydro power plants. But so you can say solar power plant is the best thing in the sustainable conditions.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you. This is another question from Saravana Kumar.
Yes,
How
ma'am.
we can integrate solar energy in the two-wheelers? How we can integrate solar energy in the two-wheelers?
In the two-wheelers, it is possible nowadays. It's commercially available, sir. You may buy a two-wheelers with solar panels. It's readily available. But some still researchers are there to improve the efficient conversions. That is the things we require. Already, the two-wheeler with solar panel is existing, but we require a further development. For example, I hope so. Your doubt is storage, regarding storage or conversion, sir. Saravanan sir, are you there?
Sir, Saravanan sir? Saravana Kumar sir?
Your
Yes,
doubt
ma'am.
is
Yes, sir,
regarding
yes.
power conversion or power
Yes, ma'am.
storage?
Yes, ma'am. I'm there. What I'm asking is whether we can integrate that solar energy in an electric vehicle. Whether we can, is it possible?
Yeah, it is possible, sir. Actually,
Ah.
huge opening is waited for us.
Okay.
A lot of research works are there going on. It is possible, even in four-wheeler, it is possible. Even NASA plan to a rocket with solar panels. Lot of things. It is the integration of electric vehicle is possible, sir.
Okay, ma'am. There is another question, ma'am.
Yeah.
Ma'am, whether we can use that solar energy in the large scale industries, whether we can use for the particular the smaller side of vehicles like that, or else we can use the solar
Yeah.
energy
In
to
our
run
slide, already I saw that the
Yeah.
largest solar industrial application is at our country, Rajasthan. That is around 10,000 megawatt. It is possible.
Okay, ma'am. Okay.
Okay, that is the
Whether
beauty
we
of
can
solar
use it in
energy.
all the
From
places or
few
else in a
watts
particular
to
case.
maximum megawatt, you can convert the energy. That is the beauty of solar energy.
Okay, ma'am. So there is we can use in all the places and all the times. That is what the
Yeah. Only thing for everything there is a small, even a small drawback. In solar, it is mainly depends on the natural seasonings, calamities or seasonings. So we can't say it is a 100% reliable. That is the only drawback of solar energy.
Yeah. So we can't
Ma'am, this
always
is the
put
question,
a
direct question from Rashaya sir, ma'am. What is the NPP efficiency?
NT,
NPP efficiency. What is the NPP efficiency? This is a question from Dr. Rashaya sir.
okay. NPP revisions. I think he is more interested about the I think mechanical related thing. Yeah. So NPP efficiency means I'm not much clear about this, ma'am.
And next, this is a question from Mayank Nigam. What suggestions will you give to the government on present day status of solar energy generation?
Yeah, it is a huge policy decisions. I'm not telling in a single word. I have a lot of things in my mind regarding this. It's a beautiful question, actually. Question of the day. I can declare it like that. So it is not a single task, actually. We have to work together and we have to implement a lot of things. We sit together and discuss it. Then only you can comes lot of your fine ideas. Because I have some ideas, but it has some drawbacks. If you have some ideas with some another pros and cons, we sit together and discuss. Then we can give a a good, very good policy to the government. Yeah, it is possible. But it's not a simple answerable question. I
Sure.
can't say in a single word.
Ma'am, I have one question. Suppose.
Welcome, ma'am.
Yeah.
Welcome, Madhukar Hema Malli, ma'am.
Yeah. Solar panel.
She is a long friend of me, ma'am, from Mother Teresa University, Department of Chemistry. Happy to hear
welcome, ma'am.
Madhukar Hema Malli.
Yeah, thank you, ma'am. Ma'am, I have one question. Supposed to be the
Uh-huh.
solar panel, right? In how it's work in the hill station, it is not that much of effective, right?
It is lesser audible, Hema.
Yeah,
Hema.
Yeah.
Only half.
Now you can
50% I am audible.
Now you can audible.
Now it is okay, Hema.
Yeah. What my question is, suppose the solar panel, right, in hill station, how it's effective? So it's not that much of effective that technology over there, right? Is any advanced technology is there or not?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. That. Even in hill stations, we can use it by properly choosing the right orientations, techniques, or focusing techniques, or concentrators, type of concentrator. You can choose like that for your applications. You can choose it. So this is possible. So you can even at in the hill station or even in seashore, you can use it, ma'am. Nowadays, flexible parameters are available by choosing or for integrating a panel. There are a lot of things are available, so it is possible.
Okay, ma'am. Thank you.
Welcome.
Hema ma'am is directly oriented to her hill station, Kodaikanal. How sustainability engineering will work and what are the methods available here? Am I right, Hema?
Yeah, of course. Because
Yeah, the science and engineers or executive work
Yeah,
towards
yeah.
a
Actually,
sustainability.
really, I am very much thankful to your coordinator because this chance only giving me a right understanding or deep understanding regarding some special things, and it's made me to my upcoming research area. So, in the perspective of chemistry or chemical engineers, I think a lot of questions during the preparation. So it is very helpful to me. Thank you, ma'am. Really, I
Thank
heartfelt
you,
thanks.
Hema. Thank you, Hema.
thank you, ma'am. Thank you.
And this is a question from Arpita Ghosh. Future scope of hybrid technology, hybrid of solar and hydro. From ma'am's session itself, we came to know that there is a hybrid of work between solar and hydro. It is possible. Am I right, ma'am?
Yes. Possible, ma'am. Possible.
And
Possible, ma'am. In I think Canada or Japan, they have a big project in this, ma'am. Idle dam with solar panels,
solar.
floating solar panels. China, I think.
This is a
China.
question from Apanti Sahu. Can we harvest hydroelectric from small check dam? Big dam
Small?
leads small check dam instead of constructing big dam to evacuate
Yeah,
mass of.
possible, ma'am. The maintenance and the constructions are very comfort zone, when we go for a small scale hydropower plant. So people nowadays switch over to or to own their own small scale hydropower plant. That is possible. In foreign countries, these cultures are nowadays developed. A pumped storage type hydropower plant in small scale, they have their own site, just like us, like your solar panel. So this is happening nowadays.
Any other questions? So actually, in this session only we are having many questions. I think this is very interesting towards sustainability, harnessing of energy from conventional or otherwise renewable energy resources towards sustainability.
There is a question from my side. Am I audible?
Yes, yes, sir.
Yeah.
Welcome, sir.
Hello, ma'am. The session was very good, and I actually asked two questions, and both are related. The first question, you have said that it needs a lot of discussion. The question was, what suggestion will you give to the government? So that was okay. I understand that. There's one more question connected to it, if you like to answer. That is what
Yes.
mistakes government is doing in progression of solar energy generation, according to you, which are need to be corrected. Like something, if you have find that no, this is not the right way, it should be like this. So it means in lesser money, it will be more economical. Yeah, it will be more effective if government should think like that. So if anything hit your mind in that way, if you want to answer.
Yeah. I have a answer for this, but in a general forum, I'm not placed the answer like against government. But as a technician, as a technical person, I share some things. That is, we are interestingly start some projects and then they are leave it. In many of the places, we can see that a lot of solar applications oriented small projects are started by one stage and they are leave it as it is. There is no further development. That is the small things I have to point out here. The rest of the things, it is not the right way to specific.
Okay, I got you. I got your point. One more
Thank you,
question.
thank you.
Like if I talk about one ma'am has asked the question that in hilly region something like that. So with that, my question is also connected. Like if I talk about the region of Ladakh, so Ladakh is a region where it is too cold. It is a cold desert actually. So, but the times when there is sun, it is very harsh. Means you will get means in a small span of time you will get a sunburn, something like that. So sun, when there is sun is very harsh, but it is very cold over there. So what is there a solar panel that much good, or it is better from the normal conditions, or it is
So,
not that much good? I'm just asking.
actually, the
My,
question is
my
very
question is
excellent.
connected to the temperature also.
Yeah.
Means if in a colder place there is sunlight, so is that a good sign or a bad sign?
In that geographically challenged place, we cannot recommend solar energy. Sure. Because how much we paid, then how much we get is matter. Okay, so in that situations we try for another renewable energy. For example, whether it is wind is possible, like that we can think it.
Okay, ma'am. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir.
Ma'am, I am having one question.
Welcome,
According
ma'am.
to Mayank Nigam, this question is whether it is in a hot sunny time, can we harness the energy, and what to for the very cold time? Is it possible, ma'am, to store the energy collected at a very hot time and,
Yeah.
and can be utilized? Is it possible, ma'am?
It is possible, ma'am. Nowadays, a lot of works is going there. It is for storage of energy.
Yes.
It is TCS. I think you are heard about SMES, capacitor store bank of capacitor. So we can use it, and otherwise the DC electricity may be converted into AC, and we converted that into a form of storage. That also possible. We are trying. It's in the level of research.
That too depending upon the geographical
Yeah.
uh,
So,
temperature.
yes, ma'am.
Yes, thank you, thank you. So is there any questions? So this is a question from A.R. Sivakumar. Do you know how ongoing and future projects in solar and hydro projects in India? And any research ideas regarding solar energy? Can you provide? So these and all, you can contact Madam.
Ma'am, kindly display my mail ID, ma'am.
Mail ID. So
Okay.
these
They will
questions
ask
to work aligned with Madam and to know the future projects and all, you can directly
Sure.
contact Madam's mail ID. It will be available in our. You can contact us in our WhatsApp group. We will provide that for any queries. Thank you. Hope so. There is if there are any queries, you can contact afterwards. Yes, kindly gives us storage devices. Madam now only told there are a lot of storage devices. We can discuss it later, and we can provide it the WhatsApp group. Ma'am, everything, the PPT and all will be shared and posted in our group after finishing this program. So very kind of you, ma'am, for this wonderful session. So from nook and corner, you have explained why there is no need of using the conventional energy resources and why to use renewable energy resources. What are the applications? That too afternoon, as always having a hard session, you made us very interesting because of your PPTs and images. And where are the places you have gone, hydroelectric power plant and all. You have made it as comfortable to listen. That's why the participants also asking very more questions, it seems. Thank you, us. Thank you, ma'am, for being with us. A nice session. Thank you. Thank you so much.